Week 6 is here and things are starting to heat up. The Eagles fly into MetLife looking to stay atop the NFC. The Lions roll into Arrowhead for a showdown with Mahomes and the Chiefs. And Monday night brings us a doubleheader. Bills versus Falcons at the Benz Dome under the lights, and a battle between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels as the Bears and Commanders face off as well. I'll break down each matchup this week, give you the lines, and tell you which teams are primed to cover and which ones you should stay away from. This is NFL Matchup Week 6. Let's dive in, starting with our Thursday night matchup between the Eagles and the Giants.
And now, NFL Matchup Week 6.
Let's get right into things, man. Our first game, of course, our Thursday night game. Getting ready to kick off right now, man. Eagles versus the Giants traveling to the MetLife, I guess. Not the Meadowlands anymore. The Eagles are 7.5-point favorites in this game, and I'll be 100% honest with you, man. I was disappointed with the Eagles' performance against the Broncos, man. They've been kind of living on the edge each week, man, and kind of, getting some last-second victories with a block kick at the end of the game, holding on to beat Tampa Bay late in that game, holding on to beat the Cowboys the first week. So despite them being at the top of the NFC, they have shown a little, few chinks in the armor, man. So the great thing, though, about this Thursday night game is, of course, they are now an opportunity to play against a rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart, who is a guy who has not, really showed a lot so far in his first couple starts, man. Lost the game to the Saints. And the Giants are just in a space where they are not, a team that's going to scare you too much. I think the Eagles, with the 7.5-point spread, should definitely handle their business in this game. I got them winning this game 31-10, man. I like the Eagles in this one. I think this is a kind of get right game, man. If you're in a slump, if you haven't been playing well, perfect remedy for that is facing a team like the Giants, who are one of the worst teams in the league, man. And you get the opportunity to go ahead and get back right, get on track, hopefully get some things going. Maybe you get A.J. Brown involved a little bit, but more importantly, get Saquon Barkley going and get that running game going. Got to have more than 6 carries, man. I think you lean on Saquon in this game. Like I said, I think they'll take this with 31-10, man. Our next game that we'll get into is, of course, in London. We have round 2 of our London games, man. The Broncos are traveling to the Jets. Aforementioned Broncos, who, of course, were victorious last week against the Eagles. I saw an interesting stat in that game. That before that game, the Broncos had not trailed in the fourth quarter at all. Their 2 losses were both with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 on the clock. They led throughout the entire fourth quarter. So, that's a team that possibly could have been 4-0 this season, but right now they find themselves at 3-2, I think, on the season currently. So going into week 6, what are you going to see from the Broncos, man? Again, perfect remedy to make sure you continue on the hot streak is facing one of these New York teams. If you're a New York football fan, man, you got the Giants and the Jets right now. One victory between the two of them. It's tough, man. It's tough to kind of watch those teams play. This one, I think, though, will be a little bit closer than what the experts think, man. And I guess I keep leaning on this. I'm not the biggest Bo Nix guy. I heard my guy Bo Money Jones talking about this, man, and I kind of shared this sentiment. It's good to know I'm not alone. When you watch the guy so much, like I did in the SEC and watched Bo Nix for all those years, and then as he went on to Oregon, you kind of get to see all the warts. So, people who maybe haven't watched him or haven't seen that much tape on him, they kind of start to feel like, this guy could be pretty good. He showed some things, man. Now he's with a great play caller and a great offensive mind in Sean Payton. But I just don't have a lot of faith in Bo Nix, to be honest with you, man. In this particular game, I do think the Broncos will win the game, but I don't think they cover 7.5 points. To me, it's too much in this one. The Jets have shown an ability to put some points on the board. They got to cut down on penalties. Aaron Glenn is trying to change the culture there. Their defense has not been very good. It's actually been quite porous. And they make a lot of mistakes and get a lot of penalties. So I think in this game, you'll see the Broncos actually be able to win, but I don't think they'll cover. I think it's a little bit closer. I think the travel and all that stuff will play a role in that as well, man. Now, the next game that we have, the Steelers, who are coming off a bye week, they welcome the Browns and Dylan Gabriel, who made his first NFL start last week out in London against the Vikings. Came up a little bit short, man. That's kind of the story. If you're a Cleveland Browns quarterback, it's a rite of passage to lose that first start. I think they lost 17 in a row at this point. So, I think because this is a division game, it'll be interesting. The Steelers, who are 3-1, still are not favored to win their division in Vegas. The actual odds right now still show an even match between the 1-4 Ravens right now, who won't have Lamar from all intents and purposes so far in this next game against the Rams that we'll talk about. The Steelers are still not, Vegas doesn't believe in them. And I'm kind of on board with that, man. I don't believe the Ravens either. I think the Steelers will win the division, but I'm not a big believer in what they're doing right now. I think they do have to continue to play good defense the way they have. I think if they run the ball, give Connor the ball, and don't ask too much of Aaron Rodgers, I think they can be dangerous. Make some big plays with DK Metcalf, of course, as well. Now, in this particular instance, though, just kind of harping on this game on Sunday at 1 p.m. At home, I think they'll win this one easily, 27-17 against the Browns. I think it'll be, like I said, just a case of a young quarterback going against a team that has a lot of veteran savvy on it in a hostile environment. Rivalry game, not a recipe for a lot of success there, man. And who's going to be the backup quarterback in this game for the Browns, man? Is it Shador, or do we see, what is his name, Zappy? I think Bailey Zappi is his name, or Zappy Bailey. I don't even know what the guy's name is fully. I think he was a former Cowboys quarterback at one point, and also made a start for the Cleveland Browns as well last year. What is Stefanski doing in Cleveland with these guys, man? Stefanski, excuse me. What is he doing with Shador? Why is Shador not the number 2 guy? I think all of this will eventually work out for Shador, not to go off on a tangent, but I don't think he should want to stay in Cleveland. So if you can not have to play there at all and take those bumps and bruises for that team, I know he wants to get on the field, and I think he probably will eventually, but this is probably a blessing in disguise, man. So if you're scoring at home, though, I do have the Steelers covering this game, 27-17, and taking care of the Browns. Now, our next game, we got the Cardinals taking on arguably one of the hottest teams in football, man. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, and the Indianapolis Colts, man. The Colts are favoring this one by 5.5. Cardinals lost a heartbreaker. Their head coach, Mr. Gannon, was fined $100,000 this week after he went after his running back for dropping that ball before running to the end zone. Interesting take there, man. I saw a lot of back and forth about that. Of course, you can't put your hands on a player, man, but I understand the frustration that their head coach is going through in that particular instance, because if you watch cover 2 with BeeWoo EarlKnowsItAll, I said I probably would have cut the guy right there on the spot based on that. So the fact that these guys lost that game in that manner against a Titans team that was just outmatched, should have been outmatched, would have been up 28-6 in that point, and putting that game away. A lot of things, everything that could go wrong did go wrong for the Cardinals, and they've lost 3 in a row now after starting 2-0. To quote their former head coach, Denny Green, they are who we thought they were, man. And I think that continues. Now, I do think this game will be closer because there is some talent there. There is some guys that can make some plays. Kyler Murray, is a decent quarterback. I don't know that he is, kind of lived up to the potential as a number 1 pick that he was. But I think they do lose this game, and I think they'll cover it 28-24. Colts remain hot, man. They keep getting Jonathan Taylor the ball, keep playing some good defense, man, and I think you'll continue to see the benefits of that. But I like the Colts a lot in this one. I think they'll take the game outright, but I do have the Cardinals covering on that one. Now, Patriots versus the Saints. Patriots maybe had the best victory of the week, maybe, going up to Buffalo Sunday night and winning. Those hideous Buffalo Bills jerseys, they got to burn those, man. Don't bring them back. I think they're the winterized jerseys, or I don't know what they were calling them. Some marketing ploy for Nike. But get rid of those things, Buffalo, man. The Patriots look pretty good, man. If you watch any of my content, I am an equal opportunist hater of the Patriots. Mac Jones and Variable and all of those guys. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. Never been a fan of the Patriots. Never liked them. I respect what they've done previously in their history. And let me rephrase that. I respect what Tom Brady did for them. Looking at things with Bill Belichick now, I don't know if he was necessarily as important as Tom Brady, although he was pretty important. I give him some credit for being a great defensive mind. But the Patriots are back on track, man. Are they? Are they for real? Do we think the Patriots are for real? You guys tell me what you think, man. Big victory, like I said, for them last week. But they go into New Orleans now. They've had some success in New Orleans, won their first Super Bowl there. lost their first Super Bowl there too as well against the Bears back in '85. But the Superdome, whatever they're calling it, Mercedes-Benz Superdome now, is a place near and dear to their hearts. I think they will win this game. I think they cover 22-17. Shout out to Spencer Rattler. Far be it for me to shout out anything for the Saints, but specifically Spencer Rattler starting his career 0-10, finally getting the victory. To fight through that, man, and like I said, the perfect remedy for a team struggling is playing the Giants. The Saints can attest to that, but I think they'll be in trouble in this game against the Patriots. And Drake May looked pretty good, man. Drake May made some plays. Stephon Diggs, of course, made some big plays in that revenge game, I guess you could say, against Buffalo. And I think maybe they are kind of getting on a little bit of a hot streak. Maybe they can put some heat on Buffalo in the AFC East, man. We'll see, but I do have the Patriots winning that game. Our next game, two teams that you can never trust. I almost wish I didn't have to pick this game. The Chargers versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins, of course, blow a game against the lowly Carolina Panthers. And the Chargers just continue to lose, man. They lost in the return for Jayden Daniels against Commanders. They lost to the Giants. They're the team that gave the Giants their only victory. And like I said, the Giants look like arguably the worst team in the league. The Dolphins are also in that mix as well to be the worst team in the league. So who do you trust in this particular instance, man? I never trust the Chargers, but I probably trust the Dolphins a lot less in this one. So I do have the Chargers winning this game 24-20. I don't think they'll cover the 4.5. So, but I will say this. We give you a promise here at the good folks at Cover 2 and Cover 2 channel that we will review and predict every game. Stay away from this game, people. It's not good for your health, man. I promise you. If you're betting on this game, either you're a fan of these two teams or you are a degenerate. Stay away from it. Listen to me, people. But I do have the Chargers winning this one 24-20. Next game, Ravens versus the Rams. Rams traveling to Baltimore. West Coast team going east. Always a little tricky. The Rams look like one of the better teams in the league, man. They, I think, are 4-1 right now. One of the best records. Only lost to San Francisco. 3-2, actually. Pardon me. They've lost to San Francisco and to the Eagles. But they've looked very good offensively, man. They've lost some games late and some weird situations, but they got the number one receiver in the NFL right now, Puka Nacua. They have Devontae Adams over there, and they got, the bionic man, I guess, bionic arm, and Matt Stafford, who, we thought had some back problems, but is looking better and better as the season goes along. Good running game with Williams over there as well. The Ravens are just a defeated team right now. Lamar Jackson, at the time of this recording, is not scheduled to play in this game. They just got spanked last week. They got spanked 2 weeks in a row, actually, by the Chiefs, and then last week as well. What are they going to do to turn things around? Cooper Rush is not the guy to turn it around. And, I know my guy BeeWoo looked at me a little crazy when I talked about them not being able to actually, I know my guy BeeWoo looked at me a little crazy when I talked about John Harbaugh possibly being, relieved of his duties there. But it could happen, man. I think if they continue down this road, they're going to be in trouble. It's going to be tough for them. And, it's getting early. It's getting late early for them. So I don't see anything different happening in this one, man. I do have the Rams winning this game 31-17. I think they will go out there, handle their business. Like I said, even though it's a West Coast team going east, 1 o'clock game is a little different time difference, but I think the Ravens, like I said, are just in a bad place right now, and they continue to be in that bad place. Take the Rams, get the points, and like I said, cash out on that one. Now our next game, the Cowboys going to Carolina to take on the Panthers, and this is a bit of a trap game if you are a gambler, I would say, man. Cowboys look good going up to New York, beating up on the Jets as they should, but they have been one of the worst defenses in the league. Now, the only thing that you can kind of, combat that with is they're playing the Panthers again. So, this should be a walk in the park for them, but 3.5 point spread, like I said, is a trap game. As I stated earlier with that Chargers and Dolphins game, I don't feel as strongly about this one as I did that one, but I probably would stay away from this one. You won't see this game in the pick six. You won't see the Chargers and Dolphins in the pick six. I'm going to steer clear of the Cowboys and Panthers, but I do think the Cowboys will handle their business. Honestly, Dak Prescott is playing some MVP-esque football right now. He's looked very good. He's been in a place where he's not making any mistakes. And, truth be told, Dak is always usually pretty good in the regular season, man. He's got, two great receivers in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Of course, CeeDee Lamb has been out, but he could be coming back, of course, after Pickens is, kind of showing up and doing big things. And like I said, perfect remedy for teams that are struggling. Play some of these bad teams. So Panthers are not a team that I'm very impressed with. They had the big blowout victory against the Falcons. They beat the Dolphins. I mean, they're 2-3, so you got to, I guess, give them a little bit of respect. But truthfully, I think the Cowboys should handle this game pretty easily. I got them covering easy, and I think that spread, Vegas knows a lot more than me, so I said stay away from this game. You see the big spread I have on this one, but I think the Cowboys should handle the business in this one. Another team that's in our next game, it could be a contender for best victory of the week as well, man. That Monday night game was a very good game, man. The Jaguars, I thought they would struggle against the Chiefs, but in Duval, man, down there in Jacksonville, they handled their business, won that game late on a very interesting way to end the game on that last play from Trevor Lawrence, stumbling and fumbling into the end zone, getting back up and making sure he made it past the pylon there. Now, they welcome the Seahawks, and the Seahawks have been a tough team, man. They've lost a couple tough games at home, actually, including the one in Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers this past Sunday. But they've been a pretty decent team, middle-of-the-road team with pretty good offense, solid, pretty good defense, one of the better defenses. Jaguars are forcing the most turnovers of any team in the league. They got a pick six against Patrick Mahomes in that game that kind of catapulted them and got the ball rolling for them as far as making a comeback in that game. This spread is 1.5. I think that's probably a good place to have it because it could go either way. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 4-1, will continue their hot streak, and I think they'll beat Seattle now. Again, another tough game to call, but I do like Jacksonville in this game. Trevor Lawrence, if he doesn't turn the ball over, and I'm going to advocate for him to start using his feet like he did in that game, man. He ran the ball pretty well. Get out of the pocket and make some things happen, man, and maybe that opens up some things in the passing game for them as well. And let's see Travis Hunter get going a little bit too, man. Let's give him the ball on the offensive side of the ball as well, man. So we'll see what happens to that one. But I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning 27-24. Next game, as we get into our late games now, 4 p.m. out in Vegas, the Titans coming off their big victory over the Arizona Cardinals. They face the Raiders, who have been dead in the water. Only victory of the season for them to come against the Patriots. That warmed my heart because, again, I hate the Patriots. But Geno Smith has not looked good, man. He's not looked like Seattle Geno Smith. Even though Pete Carroll is there, the weapons are not there, man. And that kind of can get you in a little bit of trouble. No JSN in Oakland. His star tight end has been hurt as well. So, you're kind of dealing with that also. But again, perfect remedy to get right is play a bad team. Now, when you're a bad team yourself, you just got to hope that it's the worst team coming in. And I think the Titans, honestly, have probably been the worst team in the league. Just if we're looking at it overall, I don't think they have anything. I think they're not coached very well. So I will say the Raiders probably should take this game. I got them winning this one 17. Excuse me. I got them covering this one. So 5.5 point spread. I think the Raiders will cover. But again, like I said, some last couple of weeks have been some games that have been some stinkers, man. Let's just put it, there's no way to sugarcoat it. You got some pretty bad teams playing against each other, man. So, all of them can't be great matchups, I guess, when you got really, really bad teams at the bottom of the league, like the Panthers, like the Giants, like the Saints, like the Titans. And, they got to play somebody like the Raiders too, I guess. It's tough sledding here these past couple weeks, man. I guess this game was maybe considered to be the game of the week, and that's why it's in this space, or one of the games of the week, the 4 p.m. game. You got the Packers hosting the Bengals. No Joe, insert Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco traded this week and will make the start for the Bengals, man. If you got Joe Flacco as your starting quarterback, you are probably in a very bad spot. You've seen what the Cleveland Browns had to live through with Joe Flacco. They did win a game with him, not thanks to him, but they get a chance now. And maybe, I didn't even think of this. They beat the Packers in that game. Maybe the Bengals go out and get this guy and say, hey, he's beat the Packers once this year. Maybe he can beat them again. Who knows, man? Vegas doesn't seem to think there's a good chance of that. 14.5-point spread. And I would tend to agree with Vegas on this one, man. I got the Packers winning this one 28-13. I've seen the Joe Flacco show for almost 20 years now. And the latter part of it, the latter 10 have not been anything to write home about, man. And I think, like I said, man, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, hopefully it'll get better soon, man. Get well soon, as they say, man. You guys right now are just in a tough predicament. Yeah, they should have probably called Jameis Winston. I probably would have felt a little bit better with Jameis, or like I said, Kirk Cousins, man. Go get Kirk Cousins. I don't know if they could afford him, but Joe Flacco, I don't even know if he's a Band-Aid on the situation. Maybe he won't throw 3 interceptions like Browning's been doing every week. I guess that's something to aspire to do, man. I don't know. But, yeah, if that's what you're looking for, it's pretty bad. And I think it will be pretty bad for the Bengals again on Sunday. Now, a game that may be the game of the week, man, depending on who's at quarterback. A lot of banged up guys for the 49ers. Mac Jones has been hurt. He's made the last couple starts. He's 3-0 right now for the 49ers. And, of course, the Buccaneers, who have Baker Mayfield, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite football players, man. Guy that just has a lot of moxie, finds a way to win games, man. Come from behind king right now, man. And he's been doing pretty well since he's made his way down to Tampa Bay the last couple years. And, he fired some shots off at the crowd in Seattle, man, on his Instagram this week. I like, if he's one of those guys, if he's on your team, you like him. And I'm not a Buccaneers fan, so I guess, maybe this isn't the case, but if you're rooting, if you're playing against him, you hate his guts, though. He's just like an irritant or something. Like, I can't stand that guy. But he has a lot of fight in him, and he's got a dominant rookie wide receiver too, Emeka Egbuka, who is quickly, if you don't know his name, you will know it very soon. Kid out of Ohio State who is just shined right away immediately from week 1 against the Falcons and continues to do that each and every week now, man. He's going to be a problem. The 49ers will have to figure out how to deal with him and figure out their quarterback situation. And because of that, you know my story, man. I don't think the boy genius is going to be able to pull it out this week, man. I like the Buccaneers to win this one 25-21. I think they will cover it to 2.5 and take that one. Sunday night, we got a very good football game here. The Lions taking on the Chiefs. The Chiefs coming off that tough loss against Jacksonville on Monday night. And it looked like the Chiefs were going to turn things around, get their season rolling, maybe take control of the AFC West. Not so fast, not quite yet. I think they still are in the driver's seat in the AFC West. Like I said, I don't trust the Chargers. I don't trust the Broncos either. I guess the Broncos are probably going to be their stiffest competition. And if that's your stiffest competition, what do you know, man? But big week in the Kelsey / Swift household. Of course, the album release that happened Friday. Being in some bad reviews too, man. I don't particularly listen to Taylor Swift, but I've seen or heard that a lot of her fans aren't happy with that. That's our music portion of the show for today. But Travis Kelce hopefully can have a better week this week, man. Make some plays because they're going to need to score a lot of points against the Lions, man. Lions, if you watched Cover 2 with BeeWoo EarlKnowsItAll, shameless plug. Make sure you watch that every Tuesday at 9 a.m. I declared that the Lions are the best team in the NFL, man. They've looked the best. They have the best offense. They got a coach in Dan Campbell who you can trust, a guy who's gutsy, who's going to go for it, who's a man's man, and they got a lot of weapons on their offense. St. Brown, I'm on St. Brown. You got, two great running backs in Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, who, two-headed monster at running back. And Jared Goff, although one of the reasons I don't trust the Lions is Jared Goff is a Super Bowl quarterback, man. So he's been in some big moments in his career, man. Now, I say all that to say, I think the Chiefs still will get back on track. They're at home. This is a Sunday night game. If the Lions win this one and win it convincingly, I definitely will have to eat crow. But I think the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes get back on track. They lost that game against Jacksonville, right? But you still see some things there. They were rolling those first couple drives. You got Worthy. You got Hollywood Brown as well on that team. So you got some guys you got some weapons that can get down the field quick, fast, and in a hurry. A lot of speed on this team now. Reminiscent of the days when the cheetah Tyreek Hill was there. Now they got to work out some kinks. Those guys are still young, but I think Patrick Mahomes is feeling a little bit better about the weapons around him. He's able to open up guys to get healthy. They'll get Rashee Rice back pretty soon from suspension. I think after this week he'll be back. So, the reports of the demise of the Chiefs, I think, are still a little bit premature because of the division they play in, and I think they'll win this game as well against the Lions. Now, we told you at the opening Monday night, we got a couple games on Monday night. All the way in week 6, we're still doing this doubleheader thing. Interesting NFL. I guess we'll see how that rides out. A game that'll be near and dear to our hearts here on the Cover 2 channel. The Bills versus the Falcons. Another time for a shameless plug. I got Bird Talk, of course, that we drop on Mondays and sometimes Wednesdays as well, man, to recap what's going on. Falcons coming off a bye week. Bills coming off their first loss. This is an interesting game, man. I think the Falcons have the weapons to win this game, but I think the Bills losing that game last week hopefully will reshape their focus, allow them to kind of lock in. And I think Josh Allen, of course, is the kind of the factor in this game that could be the big issue. The Falcons have had some trouble going against quarterbacks that can get out of the pocket and make some things happen. You saw Baker Mayfield kind of get them some problems with that in that game as well in the opener. So Josh Allen, I think, is going to present some problems for them, man. And you got a guy like James Cook in the backfield. Their receiving core doesn't really scare me, but the ability for Josh Allen to extend plays, I think, will be enough in this one. The Bills are 4.5-point favorites. I got them winning this one 30-24. And although the Falcons did get back up off the schneid and beat the Commanders last week, this is a tough one, man. That's why you had to kind of bank some of those victories against those lesser teams that they didn't do early on in the season. And now they may come back to bite you. I think they will probably fall to 2-3 now based on this one and be in a little bit of trouble, man. So I got the Bills winning this one, getting back on track. In our other Monday night game, you got Jaden Daniels hosting Caleb Williams, who's the best quarterback in that draft class, right? So far, it's been Jaden Daniels. He's Offensive Rookie of the Year, took his team to the NFC Championship game, came back with a bang last week and with a big win out in LA against the Chargers. And, I predicted that the Commanders may not make the playoffs this year. So we'll see what happens if my prediction comes right with that or not. But in this particular game, 4.5-point favorites of the Commanders. I think this will be closer than people think, man. I think Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson in Chicago are kind of making some strides, man. So I don't think they'll win this game, but I think they keep it a little closer than the experts think. I think we got the Commanders win this one 24-22. Two pretty good games, man. I'll probably be flipping back and forth between both of those games, kind of seeing what's going on. I think we got a pretty good Monday night slate. The last doubleheader they had, it was a stinker. You had the Bengals and the Broncos, which without Joe Burrow in that game, and you had the Dolphins and the Jets in the other one. NFL, please stop doing that to people. Like I said, I think this one will be a pretty good double dip for the fans, man. And you guys, of course, we love a little bit of crowd participation here, man. Don't let me just be out here on the ledge myself and pick these games and you live all clean and free and nobody knows what your predictions are that are sure to go wrong. So comment below on this video. Tell me what you think. Hey, if you think I made some good picks this week, let me know, man. If you say, Earl, you don't know it all, you don't know what you're talking about, that's fine too, man. Give me your predictions down in the comments. We love to hear what you guys think, man. And of course, as always, do yourself a favor, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss a thing. We have a host of NFL content on here. That's channel doing NFL content, man. For the people, by the people. We get you covered, man. Of course, on Mondays at 8 a.m., Bird Talk if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, or if you just like to see the Falcons do Falcon things, man. You don't even necessarily have to be a fan. You can hear some pretty good banter between myself and BeeWoo talking about the Falcons, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what they did right, what they haven't gotten right. That's the show for you, man. If you want to catch that. And if you don't get enough of us on Monday, come right on back on Tuesday, man, and we got you covered there. Cover 2 with BeeWoo EarlKnowsItAll. Tuesdays at 9 a.m. We review all the games from the week. This is where you get to see if my predictions here on NFL Matchup have went right. So, you check back in with us on Tuesday, drop some comments there and say, Earl, hey, man, good looking out on that Chargers pick, man, even though you don't trust them, they did win. Or you can say, man, What were you thinking? There's no way the Eagles were going to blow out the Giants like that. That's where you leave all those comments at, and that's where you see if I was right or not on those, man. And, of course, each and every Thursday we do this now. This one dropped a little bit later. We try to get it to you on 1 p.m. Had some technical difficulties, so this one's coming to you a little bit later. But NFL matchup, what we're doing right here, of course, we give you every single game, man. Even the games we don't want to pick, we still pick them, man. Like I said, Dolphins versus Panthers last week, or, Cowboys versus Panthers this week. Games I don't want to touch, man. I still touch them. So we promise you that we'll cover each game, give you what our thoughts on it, and predict a winner and whether or not the teams will cover. We give you that each and every week, man. And, of course, moving to Fridays now, Pick 6 with Earl Knows It All. You can catch that, man. We pick our 6 games against the spread that are sure to make you some Skrilla. I say that, and we've had a tough go of it the first 5 weeks of the season, but I promise you that we will bounce back and continue to make some picks. We'll end the season above 500. That's my guarantee to you, man. So make sure you do yourselves a favor. Watch all those shows. And again, like we said, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a thing. I got to go because they're about to get ready to kick off my Eagles. You know I'm an Eagles fan, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. Watch us beat down the Giants in this game, man. And Saquon, go ahead and get going, man. Beat up your former team. That's what we need from you tonight. 31-10. Eagles over Giants, man. I told you guys, make sure you watch that, man. And make sure you keep watching our show. Subscribers going up. We're going to have a subscriber giveaway. 2 giveaways, actually, coming up soon, man. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, man. We will see you on the other side. Peace.